Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a horror film, Haunted Universities, Part 2, Second Semester. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. Episode 1. A couple of students walk into an abandoned storeroom and find a banner cloth with Class 37 written on it. The students take it with them so that they can use it as a decoration for their singing lesson later during class assembly. Now, a student couple talk to their friend Ty about becoming cheerleaders. The students see Ty's friend, Timid, peeping on them, so Ty introduces Timid to the student couple. Timid is a little shy and odd, but Ty comforts her because they are childhood friends. The group moves towards the assembly hall for singing lessons. Suddenly, Timid spots something spooky and is put into a trance. Ty breaks her trance and tells her that they must be normal if they want to live a happy life. A mysterious figure can be seen walking around, but Ty ignores it and tells Timid that they must forget the past and focus on school. The student couple gather for assembly. Ty and Timid also arrive, but Timid feels nervous, so Ty holds her hand and reassures her. Now, the teachers and guides show up to begin classes. They begin playing some songs, and the entire class sings together, but Timid starts to feel darkness surrounding her. The first song is over, and it's time for the next one. However, Timid messes it up by chanting her own songs. Ty tries to tell her to focus, but Timid maintains that she was reciting the correct chant. Regardless, the students begin the song once more, but Timid can't sing because she spots something behind one of the doors in front of her. Timid identifies it as a dead body hanging, so she screams. The teachers decide to take a break, and Ty talks to Timid after they go outside the room. Ty motivates Timid to calm down and mentions a memory back from when they were kids, so that Timid can feel more relaxed. Ty wants to bring Timid back to practice, but Timid says she wants to go home. Ty asks Timid to wait for her and goes to get a jacket for her. Ty is then confronted by the student couple, who want to know what's up with Timid. They think Timid can see ghosts, but Ty tells them not to judge Timid so harshly. As the teachers talk among themselves to figure out a solution, Ty goes back to Timid, but Timid sees a ghost and panics briefly. Luckily, Ty comforts Timid, and the girls go back to their teachers. But Timid is ordered to stay for her singing lessons. Ty tries to talk to Timid, but a short-tempered teacher tells her to keep quiet. Teacher acts rude and harasses Timid even when Ty says Timid can't breathe. Teacher doesn't even care when Timid spots a ghost in front of them. He makes fun of Timid and savagely mocks the ghost in front of him as well. Teacher asks the other students if they think there is a ghost, but nobody raises their hand. This is humiliating for Timid, but it gets worse when Ty also doesn't raise her hand. Timid is heartbroken to see this, but then she hears a song and sees ghosts chanting on top of the ceiling. Timid pukes at the girl, so she orders her and Ty to leave. Timid cannot take the insults anymore, so she runs away. Ty chases after her and finds herself inside an empty room, but she can only hear Timid crying. The crying grows louder and she begins to get scared. Ty turns around and finds a ghost in front of her. Ty is able to see the ghost, but she ignores it and runs away. She finds Timid on the roof and tries to bring her back. However, Timid scolds Ty because she is hiding the fact that she can also see spirits. Ty reasons she wants everyone to think of her as normal. Timid is upset because Ty cannot accept that they are freaks. Ty becomes emotional because she doesn't want their lives to be difficult, and Timid says she cannot live a lie anymore. Timid threatens to jump off the roof, so Ty begs Timid to come back to her. However, a ghost falls in front of them, and Ty does her best to ignore it. Timid realizes that there is no future for her, so she jumps off the roof, and Ty cries her heart out. The other students are also shocked to see Timid's dead body lying on the ground. Later, Ty places some flowers by Timid's grave after her graduation. She thinks back to the dreadful day when Timid committed suicide. It turns out Timid became a ghost after dying, and Ty had begged for her forgiveness. Back to the present, Ty studies along with Timid's ghost. Episode 2. A podcast talks about how to become a successful doctor, but a medical student named Tan doesn't find it interesting. Tan changes the podcast to a special episode and hears a woman asking if he's sleeping on the bed of a dead medical student. The podcaster continues talking about the student, saying he had died before he could complete his studies. She adds that the student's ghost keeps coming back to the same bed so that he can complete his course. Tan panics as someone wakes up next to him, but it is just his friend. Tan breathes a sigh of relief and leaves. Now, Tan meets his crush named Cutie and chats with her at a bus stop. Cutie jokes around with Tan, but he suggests going back to their separate rooms. Cutie doesn't like the sound of this, so she whispers something into Tan's ear. Now, Tan takes the vow of a doctor and promises that he will always treat his patients fairly. It is time for the holidays, but Tan decides to stay back rather than go home. In the night, Tan switches on the podcast again. However, the podcast talks about all kinds of difficulties that doctors will face once they start their professions. Tan becomes nervous as he feels that he won't be able to become a doctor because he seems to suffer from anxiety attacks. Tan experiences an attack and violently hits the bed to calm himself down. He drops his notes and is about to pick them up from under the bed, but then Cutie arrives to spend time with him. She wants to be with Tan all night and even flirts his hormones out of him while they are studying. Cutie says she is ready to spend the night with him, but he doesn't look interested in her cute body. Cutie starts to read some chapters, but Tan loses his patience, so he asks her to read by herself. Cutie wants to know what's bothering Tan, but he says he just wants to be by himself. Cutie jokes that Tan wanted to become a doctor for her, but now he's ignoring her. Tan feels guilty, so he hugs Cutie and says sorry. Later, the lights flicker and Tan wakes up alone. He can't find Cutie, not even a trace of her hormones, so he calls for her and searches the dorm. He begins to feel tired because of stress and lack of sleep. He goes past the lights and checks what's going on, but things start to get creepy quickly. Tan spots a bottle rolling away from the fridge. He thinks it's Cutie playing a prank, so he calls out to her, but gets no response. Tan walks closer to the fridge, but doesn't find anything there. He puts the bottle on top of the fridge and runs back to his room. Tan notices a ring that belonged to the dead student and gets scared immediately. Tan thinks back to the podcast and remembers that he can exorcise the spirit away by writing a message on a sheet. He goes out to look for some sheets, but starts to shake violently when the flickering lights triggered him, causing him to lose consciousness for a while. He eventually wakes up in bed, but is unable to get up no matter how hard he tries. Then the lights go off. Tan can sense danger nearby. That's when the deadly ghost appears, and the lights begin to flicker again. The ghost drags itself towards him, who is still unable to move his body. The ghost vanishes for a bit, so Tan manages to fall to the ground and drags himself away using his arm, which he can still control. The ghost spots the ring. It gets agitated and chases after him. Tan is finally able to stand up on his own, and he hides from the vengeful ghost as it wanders around the hall looking for him. He tries to pull the cloth from the fridge so that he can use it for his leg. However, he also drops the bottle that he had earlier placed on the fridge. Tan drags himself across the floor, hoping to escape the ghost. Unfortunately, he is caught and kicked down the stairs. The ghost chokes him, so he thinks back to all the oaths he had taken. He also remembers that the podcast told him the dead student wanted to complete his course. So Tan starts chanting the oath he had taken to keep his patients safe. This is good enough to keep the ghost occupied for a bit, so he tries to crawl away. However, the ghost catches him and chokes him again. Tan has to say that he will treat every patient as if they are his own. It seems to work on the ghost because it vanishes upon hearing this. Tan might be safe, but his body is still paralyzed, so he calls Cutie to confess the truth. Tan tells her that he cannot become a doctor and apologizes for being weird around her. Tan finally admits his hormone feelings for Cutie, while the ghost takes one last look at the ring before vanishing for good. Cutie says that he doesn't need to be a doctor to take care of her, and he can rest easy. Episode 3. A schoolgirl nervously walks through a spooky path and worries that she will be attacked. Suddenly, it appears as if there is something behind her, but she can't see anything for now. However, she notices a hand snatch some flowers from under her legs. Suddenly, a ghost drops down from an iron signboard. It grabs the girl by her hair and pulls her up. Now, a ghost storytelling girl named Big Mouth tells her classmates about this ghost, who is believed to be permanently stuck to the signboard and abducts anyone who disrespects her. One of the mischievous classmates named Joker asks if the ghost will be defeated if the signboard catches rust. Big Mouth thinks that Joker isn't serious about ghosts, so she rebukes Joker for his joke. However, Joker and her friend don't take the spooky myth seriously. Big Mouth calls up her brother Golf, who is busy posting on social media in order to impress a girl he has a crush on and possibly wants to crush his hormones on her. Big Mouth says she wants her laptop back, but Golf messes around and teases her. She gets annoyed and says Golf will never get a girlfriend. Realizing that his sister is losing her patience, Golf follows her instructions and spots the iron signboard. The flowers are dropped to trap Golf, but he ignores them and heads toward an old school building. Now, Big Mouth talks about another spooky tale that happened in the same old school building. It's said that a loser girl had studied a lot to graduate, but could not complete her goals, so she committed suicide. Every year since then, one student has been dying every graduation. Now, Golf enters the old building by mistake and climbs up the stairs. He hears noises and finds a glass cabinet, which is almost like a shrine. He walks past it, but an evil force seems to be watching him. Golf accidentally slips on a box of pills and falls on the floor. Meanwhile, Big Mouth tells her classmates about a professor who had died from a heart attack. Golf sees the box of pills and demands to know who kept it there. The professor's ghost shows up, asking for the pills, but Golf mistakes her for being a normal human. Golf is about to give the pills to the professor, but spots the loser girl's ghost as well. Golf doesn't seem to be too scared of the ghosts, but rather focuses on his messenger app, where he is still trying to attract his crush's hormones. The professor's ghost demands her pills, but Golf tells her to shut up because he thinks the loser girl needs the pills more. Big Mouth calls her brother and realizes he's in the wrong building, so she tells him to get out of there immediately. The professor screams for her pills, but Golf ignores her once more and takes the loser girl away. Golf still doesn't seem to understand that he is with a ghost and asks to take a picture of the loser girl. Golf notices her spitting some blood, so he looks for the pills but can't find them. Big Mouth arrives just before the loser girl becomes violent and she argues with Golf. He laughs at his sister for believing in ghosts, especially because she is a science student. She leaves with her laptop and Golf looks back but can't find the loser girl. She is thirsty for blood and she spots the room where Joker and her friend are joking with their wet jokes. The loser girl attacks the girls. Scared, Joker and her friend try to run their joking ass away and bump into Big Mouth, who asks what the fuss is all about. The professor also arrives, so everyone panics and is pushed into a corner. Big Mouth calls Golf, asking for the professor's pills, but he says the box must be in her laptop bag. The girls go crazy looking for the pills, but can't find them. Meanwhile, Golf finds the pills next to the flower trap and crushes the flowers. The signboard ghost shows up, so Golf screams like a little muscular girl and runs away. Big Mouth asks the girls to split up in order to distract the ghosts in a rather weird fashion. The girls manage to keep the ghost distracted, so Big Mouth begs Golf to get the pills back. He goes for the pill, but gets distracted when he is unable to connect to his network. The signboard ghost attacks Golf and lifts him up, but he manages to break free. The group escapes the room, but gets caught and cornered by the loser girl and the professor. Things get tricky, but then Golf tricks the signboard ghost into taking his helmet while he rides a bike and takes the pills. Golf reaches the girls and gives the pills to the ghost professor, so she disappears. However, the loser girl attacks Big Mouth by choking her chick neck rather than suffocating her mouth. Golf thinks fast and then takes a picture of the loser girl, giving her a graduation cloth after she puked some blood. Golf says he is proud of the loser girl and declares that she has finally completed her graduation. Golf even takes a picture of her with the other girls. The movie ends with the loser girl vanishing in satisfaction. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.